All right, guys, so I just want to ask you, do you think I'm being petty towards my neighbor? You let me know. You let me know, because I think I'm not petty anymore because we're cool, but I was being petty at one point. And you know how we are as women. If you play us, we will get our lick back. All right. So I am just going to put on a little bit of makeup and talk to you guys while I do this. I'm not going to really name my makeup because it's old. All my makeup is old. But I'm going to put on a little bit of blush. I'm going to put my blush on first. I already got my foundation on. Why does my neck look so shiny? I just look so shiny. So a couple of years ago, no, it wasn't a couple of years ago. It was December 2018. So here it is, almost December 2021. So it's almost 3 years ago. I was having trouble out this little stupid ass boy. I shouldn't have said that. I'm going to say it anyway. Forget it. That lived down the street from me in the neighborhood. They're gone now, and I'm so happy that they're gone. I told you guys before that I was having trouble with this kid vandalizing my mailbox. He had an obsession with the mailbox. And come to find out, the reason why he kept vandalizing the mailbox is because he got mad at me because I told him to leave my dog alone. One day I caught him in my side yard trying to throw a stick at Shay Shay. And I yelled out the window and said, leave my dog alone. Ever since then, he was vandalizing the mailbox. Gotta really work on my skin. I'm not gonna put on a lot of makeup today. I should have color corrected right here. That's okay. Anyway, he was known to be a nuisance in the neighborhood. So was his brothers and stuff, and his mama. His mama stabbed somebody and went to jail for a while. So she's pretty rough. And she had a whole bunch of kids living in the house with her. And then she had her people's kids living in the house with her. And they were just like the people that you'd be like, there goes a neighborhood. All right. So they had kids running around. They had basketball court in the front yard with the barbecue grill in the driveway in the front yard. Everything was like, I finally caught up with the little kid. I chased him down the street. Me and Shay Shay, we chased him down the street. I saw him. I laid and waited on him one day. This is like in 2016. Yeah, it's 2016. I had I laid and waited on him, and I ended up catching him, chasing him down the street, and he was screaming and crying. Anyway, so my neighbor down the street, she said that she had cameras, and I had asked her, I said, will it be okay that, because her cameras kind of like point upward towards my house, and I asked her, will it be okay for her to let me see her video footage to see if I can see anything, see who it was, and she's like, yeah, girl, I'll let you see. And she said, I'll be up to your house. When I get off work tonight, I'm going to come up to your house and I'm going to bring the video footage to you. I said, okay. So that was like December 2018. It's November 2021. And that cow still ain't brought me that video footage. So I didn't say nothing. I just let it be. Then, what I want to use today? I don't even know. I'll put on my Natasha Denona. This one here. The gold palette. Just put on a little bit of. Do I even want that? I don't know. I'll just put on any colors. But so I'm like, well, why does Kyle never come up here and bring me the video footage like she said she was? So I said, okay, forget it. So the kid kept on vandalizing the mailbox. So I said, well, let me just go across the street to my neighbor over there. Maybe they can help me. Maybe they can see something. Let me tell you something. When it comes to video footage, people in your neighborhood ain't gonna help you. I ain't gonna say that. Some people in the neighborhood just don't want to be involved. I'll say that. And as they should. They can feel that way if they want to. So I went across the street where I saw the husband. He was outside doing some yard work. And so his house is right directly in front of my mailbox. So I know for a fact, if they got cameras, they could see what happened. Right? I went over there and said, hey, neighbor. I said, do you have cameras? And he was like, yeah. I said, because there's a kid vandalized my mailbox. I would like to see who it is. I wanted to make sure it was him. I don't know if I knew it was him at the time. I did know it was him at the time because the neighborhood started putting the word out about that whole family. How they are just being a nuisance. So he says to me, my camera that I have it's not widescreen. And I'm thinking, That's a lie, because today's cameras are widescreens. And anyway, my mailbox is not too far from where his driveway is. So he said he had a camera in the driveway area, and it wasn't wide enough to see my stuff. So as we were talking, let me take it back. As he was lying, his wife comes outside and she said, "Hey girl." And I said, "Hey." She said, "What y'all over here talking about?" And the husband said, "Well, she wants to know about our cameras." And she wanted to know, will our camera see somebody messing with her mailbox? And she said, "Oh, our cameras don't work." Okay, so mind you, he just told me. I'm gonna use this brush today. This is not the right brush to use. He just sat up there and said, "Oh, my cameras don't work." No, he just said that the cameras are not widescreen. She comes right out and busts them right on out, because she didn't know what we was talking about prior to her getting there. She says that, "Oh, our cameras don't work." And I just looked at him, and you could tell he was so embarrassed. And I just chuckled. I said, "Oh, okay." So from that point on, I realized real quick, suckers are not going to help you with their cameras. Okay. So I said, I'm just going to get my own camera system. I'll spend the money and get my own camera system. And I'm not going to even think about helping nobody. The ones who didn't want to help me, don't even think about me helping you. So this is where the petty part comes in at, because you know how we got to get our licks back. I said, well, I'm going to drop the money down and go and get my stuff. And that's what I did. So sure enough, the cameras ended up deterring the little kid from messing with my mailbox anymore. And eventually, he just stopped coming around, especially when I ran up on him one day. I ran up on the little kid like a thug one day. I told this story in my live stream one day, but one day I just came home from work, and here he comes. Now, a lot of you guys know what my yard looks like. I have a big yard. I live on a boulevard. If you come up in my yard, you came in my yard on purpose, which means you want to come and see me. You know, when you come and see me, I'm gonna come and see you. I'm gonna let you see me, because I'm gonna come and see you. The little boy ran up in my yard and started walking along my walkway like he was in a park. And I ran out the door, kicked the door open, boom. I said, "Can I help you, partner?" Ran up on him with my stuff in my pocket. Guess what I had in my pocket? Nothing. He didn't know that though. But he was like, "No, ma'am, I don't want nothing." I said, "Stay your ass out of my yard." He said, "Yes, ma'am." So I really didn't see him no more after that. Found out that the neighborhood kids around the block had beat him up, blacked his eye. He was getting in trouble with the law. So the same neighbor who said that she was going to help me out at first about the cameras, guess what? She saw me outside one day. She said, "Hey, somebody broke into my car last night. Can you check your cameras to see what happened?" And I was on my way to work at this time. I was working the evening shift. Like, I was getting off at 11 o'clock at night. And I'm looking like, is she kidding me? I ain't forgot. I'm still waiting on you to bring me the footage of somebody messing with my mailbox. Now you turn around and ask me to look at my footage to see what's going on with your window, because somebody busted a window out and she had plastic all over it. And I looked out the window and I see this plastic on her windows. I said, "Yeah, okay, I will." She said, "All right, girl." I said, "All right." So this is where the petty part coming at, honey. It was November 2021. I still ain't told her. I still ain't looked at my video footage. She never asked me again about it, and I never said anything else about it, because I know damn well you ain't asking me about my footage on my video when you didn't bring me your footage on about, girl. I can't even get it out. I'm getting irritated just thinking about it. I'm like, she got the balls and the galls to ask me that crap again. Not again, but to ask me that. I'm like, girl, hell no. Then the same neighbor across the street, the lady who was saying that her videos footage doesn't work at all, she had asked me. She said, this was earlier this year. Or was it last year? I think it was last year. Whatever the case may be, she had asked me. She said she stopped her car right here at my house on the street, and she said, "Hey, girl." I said, "Hey." She said, I really like your driveway." I got a brand new driveway put in back in 2014. So she said, "Can you tell me who that was? Who was that? Who did your new driveway?" And I was like, "I don't remember." She said, "Okay." I said, "Cause that was years ago. That was a long time ago. I can't remember that." She's like, "Okay, well, thank you anyway." Girl, I remember who did my driveway, but don't ask me nothing. Okay? You don't want to help me? I got you. You don't want to help me, so I don't want to help you. Ain't that being petty? I don't care. Be petty. Be petty. I don't care. Because don't expect me to be helping you when you ain't gonna help me. Right? I think that's just a lot of us. Period. Except for my cousin and maybe my friend, honey. They are, I love the world. Let's have world peace and harmony. I didn't want to cause any problems. But me, I'm like, girl, please. I wish the hell I would, right? So I'm just going to tell you another story right quick. And this story is about my ex-boyfriend. I told you guys about this too. At the time, I was dating this one guy. We had been together like 8 years or so. By the time we broke up, it was 8 years. But, some men like to cheat. So he decided to cheat with this one woman. At the time, my life wasn't together. So I was homeless. I didn't have a job. I couldn't keep a job. And, I was just out of whack. So I was living with my friend at the time. Also, I was getting put out a lot. From the age of 14 to 22, I was put out of everybody's house. I think I moved out maybe twice out of the times I kept getting put out. For the most part, I was getting put out. And when I was living with my friend, that's at the time it's like 1990, so I had a beeper. And I told you guys about this too in one of my live streams. That's why y'all need to watch my live streams, because we be having girl gossip sometimes. So one night, this girl beat me on my beeper, and I'm like, who is this number? And so I decided to call that number back. And I said, hello? I said, did somebody call me? And she's talking about, yeah. Is Pookie there? I'm like, Pookie? I'm like, why would somebody call me and ask me about my boyfriend? Is he there? And I was like, no. I said, who is this? She said, this Peaches. I said, Peaches, why would you be texting me? Why would you be beeping me and ask me about my boyfriend? Because I want to see him and tell him that I called you. Tell him that I contacted you. I said, when I catch you, bitch, I'm going to get you. So my friend I was living with at that time, she was on my live stream too. I told her what happened. And so we already knew when we saw her, it was going to be a problem. Well, my ex-boyfriend at the time, I had asked him, I said, who was this chick calling me? How she get your phone number? Same old basic girl conversation. Now, we all know if a woman calls us, that means that man was so relaxed with that woman. He fell asleep with that woman. He got so comfortable around her to where he can leave his phone sitting out or his beeper sitting out. And we slick. We can get the phone numbers and call the numbers we don't recognize off the phone. We write it all down, or right now we can take pictures of the stuff or whatever the case may be. We're going to get that number in our minds and we're going to contact that woman. We're going to ask her, what you doing with my man? So anytime a woman contacts another woman like that, it's because they have a man in their lives that is comfortable enough to leave their stuff around and we can sneak and get it. So I already knew he was sneaking around with that woman. She wasn't lying because she called me. So this is a very boring eye makeup look. So anyway, I had asked him, who was that woman calling me? I don't know, babe. He's calling me babe. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. I said, okay. So I said, if I catch her, I'm going to get her. So be ready. I didn't know what woman it was. In my mind, I thought it was this other woman. She was real pretty. She was like an Indian. And she had these pretty kids. And when I saw her one day driving down the highway. Me and my friend, we saw her driving down the highway. And I said, friend, that's that B right there. We gonna get her ass. So sure enough, she driving this big old Caprice car, like a Caprice Classic, which is a really big car. And she had all these kids in the back. Something I was not proud of, but we ended up throwing a glass bottle at her on the highway. And this woman was so scared to where she almost lost control of her car, trying to get off the highway. And I mean, she really lost control of that car to where I thought the car was going to flip. And had that car flipped, I would have been in a world of trouble because I shouldn't have done that. I should not have chased that woman down the highway with those kids. But at that time, I'm 20 years old, 21. Okay, so a 21-year-old's mind versus 52, two different places of my life. I was homeless. I was fighting all the time. I didn't have a problem with throwing stuff at that girl. Well, I didn't throw it at him. My friend threw it at him. Threw that bottle at him. So word got back to my ex-boyfriend, and he calls me one day and say, "Hey, why you throwing bottles and stuff at?" I forgot the girl's name still to this day. I said, "Because she called me. She beat me, and she asked me where you were." He said, "No, that's not her. You sit up there doing that to the wrong girl." I said, "Well, who is it so I can get the right one?" Not, "Oh, I'm sorry, I did that to that girl." I shouldn't have not done that. I said, "No, well, who is she so I can get the right one? Because I'm getting all the hoes. All of them's going to get it. You hear me? All of them going to get it till I get the right one. Because you don't call me dealing with no old dick slinger." Okay? So, especially when they community dick. Because, you know, when you mess around with community dick, that means they just giving the dick every damn word. You know what I'm saying? And chicks will get mad at you because you messing around with them. But they messing around with everybody anyway. So I didn't realize at the time he was that CD, community dick. So I said, "Okay, well, who is the right one so I can get the right one?" He was like, "No, I ain't messing with nobody. I keep telling you, I ain't messing with nobody." I said, "Okay, I'm going to tell you this. When I catch him, I'm going to get him." So time went forward. I can tell he was really involved with this woman because, like I said before, men, when they start cheating on you, they start getting real irritable and comparing you. And if you ain't paying attention to the comparison, it's gonna go over your head. So whenever a guy starts saying, "Why you doing this and why you doing that?" Suck, I've been doing this. This is how we met, right? This is what I was doing when we met 5-10 years ago. So why all of a sudden this is a problem? This is annoying you because the other chick ain't doing it, or she's doing it better. One or the other. So time went on. At that time the relationship was so raggedy. I don't know why I was just holding on to that situation, but that's what I did. And towards the end, I was just like pretty much fed up. Excuse me. And I was trying to figure out how to get out the relationship. He always wanted me to have a baby with him. I didn't want to have no kids. I didn't want to have no kids. I didn't want to have the kids by nobody. I didn't want to have any kids by him, especially because one thing, he was not attractive. I don't understand why ugly dudes be trying to act like they own something. Why you trying to play me with your little ugly ass? You ought to be honored that a pretty sucker like me is with you. I should have left him alone anyway. But I wouldn't have no babies by a little ugly dude. Oh my God! If he hears this video, he might get his feelings hurt, but I don't care. F him. And second of all, I didn't want any children, so I used to lie and tell him. I said, "Well," he said, "we don't have my baby." I said, "I'm gonna have it next year, or I'll have it when I get my insurance at my job." And I was part-time at my job when I was a public bus driver for 15 months. So for 15 months, I was able to dodge that bullet and say, I still don't have insurance yet. Well, I was so excited, and I tripped and told him one day, I said, "Hey, I finally got my insurance, my health insurance, my benefits." He said, "Okay, well, good. You can have my baby." I was like, "Okay," and I never did. So he ended up getting kind of irritated at me and kind of like started staying away. And he got his own apartment, and I didn't hardly see him as much. And he kept saying, "You lied to me about my baby you was gonna have," and it was a shift in his personality. So finally, he started letting me come over to his new apartment. And I said this in another video, so I'm gonna link that video to this one. I went into his bathroom one day. So guys, if you ever want to know if your partner or your husband or your girlfriend, whoever it is that you're seeing, is cheating, go into the bathroom, look on the bathroom floor, and look at the hair down there. All right. So at that time, I had really black. I used to dye my hair really black, and I was a permie. Why I go in the bathroom? I went in the bathroom on purpose just to see what color hair I was gonna find. And sure enough, I found a reddish tone, blonde colored hair strands on the floor. Now, he doesn't have any sisters. His mom wears a wig, and her hair was gray, and my hair ain't blondish red color. Why is this hair strand down here? Why are these hair strands on the floor? Well, because another chick came over and she started brushing her hair in the bathroom. I said, "Aha! Ha. You got another chick. This is verification." Well, coming to find out, that same chick that called me on the beeper, and I thought I was gonna get her and end up getting the other girl. which was a friend of his, because she that's who it was. It wasn't a word on the street. She told the girl who we threw the bottle at. She told him that what happened about us throwing that bottle at her. So I keep telling you that's not her. Well, she happened to get it because you are out here playing around with me, on me, and with me. So when he started fading away, doing all this little nickel slick comparison stuff, come to find out he's messing with that chick that called me 2 years, because it was like 2 years prior to that, and she was a school teacher and she had it going on. She had her own place, and she was spending the night there. So I said, you know what? I'm out of here. So eventually I left him alone because I just couldn't take it no more. And I was really good friends with his family. That's how we met, actually, through his family. And what kind of lips I'm gonna put on today? I don't know. I'll put this on. This color. I need to put on a lip liner. His cousin called me one day. She said, hey girl, I'm telling you, I'm calling to let you know that Pookie getting married. I said, what? She said, yeah, he getting married next year. So I called and told him, I said, hey, I know you're getting married. What you talking about? He started looking real stupid. And I told him for about a year, I'll be at your wedding. I'm going to be at your wedding, so I'm not getting married. So, okay. Baby, he didn't know. He didn't know I was going to be there. I popped up at that sucker. So I called my mother and told her what happened, that he's getting married and stuff. And she said, okay, I'm going with you. And so we had plans on wearing black like a funeral. But at the last minute, I decided to change my mind. If I can find a picture, I'm going to post it. I decided to wear a white dress instead. And I didn't tell my mother. So she ended up wearing a black dress. And I wore my white dress. And she said, why you didn't tell me that you was going to change your clothes? I said, I changed my mind at the last minute. I'm sorry. Anyway, okay, I went to that wedding, me and my mama. And he was late getting to his own wedding. Yep, he was late. And he had told me later on that he didn't want to get married. He wanted to marry me, which is a fucking freaking lie. But anyway, I sat on the side. It's hard to put on makeup and talk. I sat on his family side, and of course her family was there on the other side. And when she came down that aisle, she saw me sitting there, and I made sure she saw me, and I took pictures of them, both of them. And so at the end of the wedding, I walked up to her. She did look pretty, but I wanted to take some lipstick and just carve B-I-T-C-H in her freaking dress. Not because she was marrying him, because she took that grief off of me onto her and gave it to herself, because he was a cheating a-hole, and sure enough, he was cheating on her too. But I told her, I said, hey, I'm Angel. She said, I thought so. I said, congratulations. And she was pissed off. Her face was mad. Then I told her I was gonna get her. Now, had this happened maybe a year or two prior, I probably would have just started beating up on her because she pissed me off. Don't call me up with no community dick, bitch. Don't ever call me for no community dick.